A massive demonstration is planned for tomorrow, February 1st, as thousands of supporters of Tommy Robinson prepare to take to the streets of central London in protest. The march is being organised to demand an end to what many see as Robinson's unjust treatment in prison and to highlight broader concerns about free speech, political persecution, and government overreach. Reports suggest that Robinson has been denied visits from supporters who use social media, a move his critics argue is blatant political suppression. Many believe that the establishment is doing everything in its power to silence him, with some even describing his treatment as corrupt, unfair, and politically motivated. But this protest is bigger than just Tommy Robinson. Supporters argue that this demonstration is a battle for fundamental rights, not just for one man, but for all citizens who value free speech, accountability, and fairness in the justice system. They see the denial of visits and censorship as part of a wider crackdown on voices that challenge mainstream narratives. This march is being seen as a pivotal moment for those who believe in standing against what they perceive as an increasingly oppressive system. Protesters want to send a clear message that political suppression will not be tolerated and that justice must be applied fairly, regardless of political stance. Ahead of the big event, we've got some huge news to discuss in today's video. But before we dive into the details, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with our fast-growing community and ensure you don't miss future updates. Just a quick one to say we do have new One Keir t-shirts available on our website. Go to britishstand.com or check the link in the description. If you are planning to attend the demonstration, here are the key details. Meeting point, Sandell Street near Waterloo Station. Start time, 12 p.m. expected turnout, thousands of supporters. The march is expected to draw large crowds and generate significant attention. Protesters aim to peacefully rally and make their voices heard, ensuring that Robinson's case remains in the public spotlight. However, it is important to be aware that opposing organizations are also planning their own counter-protests, and tensions could be high. A group called Stand Up to Racism, SUTR, has announced a counter-protest, arguing that the demonstration in support of Tommy Robinson is promoting divisive rhetoric and could increase tensions. SUTR co-convener Sabi Dalu has linked this protest to previous demonstrations and warned that it comes at a particularly sensitive time, following recent attacks on mosques and last summer's unrest. She stated, "There's no doubt that this event will be emboldened by recent political developments, both in the UK and internationally." The SUTR counter-protest, called Stop the Hate, will begin at 11:30 a.m. on St James's Street before marching towards Whitehall, where they will be joined by trade unions and campaign groups who are expected to address the crowd. While the Tommy Robinson march is focused on justice, free speech, and government accountability, SUTR claims that the demonstration could contribute to a rise in hate speech and division. The presence of this counter-protest is likely to lead to a tense atmosphere on the streets of London. With both Robinson supporters and SUTR counter-protesters set to take to the streets, the potential for clashes exists. It is crucial that all participants on our side remain peaceful and do not engage with those trying to provoke a reaction. To those attending the march, stay vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Remain peaceful. This is about standing up for justice, not engaging in conflict. Avoid confrontation. Do not rise to provocations from counter-protesters. Focus on the message. Keep the demonstration about the core issues: free speech, political suppression, and fairness. This is a moment to stand together, make our voices heard, and show strength through unity. The more peaceful and organized this protest remains, the stronger the message will be. This protest is about more than just Tommy Robinson. It is a stand against censorship, suppression, and political double standards. Those marching believe this is about protecting the fundamental rights of all citizens, ensuring that justice is applied fairly, and preventing political persecution from becoming the norm. As the protest unfolds, all eyes will be on London. The way this demonstration is conducted will set the tone for future movements fighting for free speech and political fairness. Let's ensure that tomorrow's protest is peaceful, powerful, and impossible to ignore. Let's make this a great day for Tommy. In other news, figures from the Department for Work and Pensions have revealed around £1 in every £15 spent on benefits last year was either fraudulently claimed or accidentally paid. Some £10 billion of taxpayer money was sent out to false or erroneous claims for payments such as Universal Credit, Personal Independence Payment, PIP, and pension credit during 2023 to 2024. This makes up for 6.7% of total benefit expenditure, with the majority of the wasteful cost being blamed on fraud. According to the DWP's own figures, around £7.3 billion was lost to benefit scammers, while the rest of the loss can be attributed to mistakes made by either the government or claimant. These figures were highlighted in a report by the Public Accounts Committee, which determined the DWP was guilty of a dangerous mindset when it comes to addressing fraud. Despite the department citing fraud being an issue in wider society, MPs noted that the level of benefit fraud in the UK has reached unacceptably high and urged the government to improve defences. Chancellor Rachel Reeves and Prime Minister Keir Starmer have pledged to clamp down on benefit scammers and have floated an overhaul of current DWP rules to do so. Pensions Minister Liz Kendall has introduced reforms to job centres to help people get back into work, and those found guilty of benefit fraud could be handed penalties such as driving bans. Furthermore, the Chancellor has promised to stick to plans introduced by the Conservative Party to slash £3 billion in spending for incapacity benefits by 2028. The DWP outlined a plan to address fraud and error in May 2022, which included a series of targeted case reviews to verify around 8 million existing universal credit claims. However, the department did meet its expected savings target of £115 million in 2023 to 24, and was only able to get back £90 million. Despite this setback, the DWP told MPs this was only a blip, and blamed staffing pressures on these goals not being met. The department has noted it will be using an additional £110 million in funding from the new government to complete more targeted reviews of claimants. However, Conservative Party Chairman Sir Geoffrey Clifton-Brown said it had little sympathy for the DWP's argument that this rise is driven by a growing propensity for fraud in society. Furthermore, the DWP recently lost a case in the High Court over proposed changes to the Work Capability Assessment, WCA, which are used to evaluate whether disabled people are eligible for the extra health component of universal credit or employment support allowance, and have restricted work conditionality. The High Court found that the DWP acted unlawfully by portraying controversial benefit assessment reforms as a way to support disabled people into work, without making clear that the proposals also included substantial cuts to disability benefits, and that saving money was the primary motivator of the changes. Ken Butler, Disability Rights UK's Welfare Rights and Policy Advisor, said the DWP consultation has been found to be unlawful as it was misleading, rushed and unfair. The ruling that cost savings were at least one, if not the central basis, that was the impetus to the proposed reforms should be a wake-up call for the current government, who seem intent on bringing similar proposals forward in the spring. A DWP spokesman said, "The report does not consider that we are already taking action on fraud and error through our new Fraud, Error and Recovery bill, which will help us protect claimants by stopping errors earlier, alongside saving an estimated £1.5 billion of taxpayer money over the next 5 years." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.